3. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Elevate Your Life podcast. We're so excited to be with you here today. We're doing episode number 91, Cheryl.
91. Oh my gosh, Paul,
it's Leadership Thursday.
It. I know. I can't believe it. These are just like flying by and they're so much fun.
Yeah.
And I love to talk about leadership.
As do I. And so what we're doing now is we're going through the 21 Laws of Leadership book by John Maxwell. He just released the 25th year edition to this book. So we've been going through, we've done 2 already. So you got time to catch up still. And you can get the notes for this podcast at elevateyourlife.com. So we give you all the notes. You can follow along. And Cheryl, today, another great law, the law of process. Oh my gosh, and it all has to do with elevating your life, Paul. Yeah, it really fits into our theme.
I love it. I'm becoming obsessed with elevating in different areas of my life, all the areas of my life, but it's just been so much fun to learn all of these things. And the law of process. Now, I have to tell you, Paul, I don't like the word process very much. Just letting you know that right up front. But I learned as we were getting ready for this and as we were kind of chatting, like the importance of having a process. And then, of course, my favorite thing, getting into action, as you're doing that process daily. So I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cheryl, we were talking before this podcast even started. We started recording about, mindset, because we're always talking mindset and how calmer, better we feel now that we've made a slight change in going from we got to get to this place, or we got to become so much better, to we just got to get 1% better today.
Yay! I think that sounds so good.
It sounds a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Like when we were talking about that, when you say, I just need to get 1% better than I was yesterday, it was like all the stress left, all of the anxiety and, oh my gosh, I have to get better. I need to be better. I need to get to this. I need to get to the top of the mountain. Well, no, you just need to take one step today towards the top. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so much easier, because I think a lot of us, me included, I like right now. I want it now. I want it right now. I want it this minute. I want, and I find that our kids are like that too, right? I mean, and so it's like, now. And that's not how you become a leader. That's not what's going to happen. It is, you don't become a leader in one day, dang it. But it's you're developing into that leader daily as you become 1% better.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, I was very almost depressed when John said, there is no finish line. Because I'm all about hitting the finish line. Sure. We won the race. We did this, but he said there is no such thing as a finish line. I'm like, well, that sucks. Like that's not what I want to hear.
Right.
But then I processed it and understand that it's the process in life that means more than setting this outrageous goal, getting to the top of the mountain.
And it's funny when you just said that, it just reminded me it's about the journey, not the destination, right? I mean, that's really what
you hear that, but
I know
people say that or whatever, but it's true. It really is the journey that matters. Yeah. That's what you're living today. If you just focus on the destination, you're not enjoying the moment and focusing on the things you need to do today to move in that direction. That's why I love talking about values with you, Cheryl. And values are like a compass that put us in a certain direction. So when we value health, we're going to start doing healthy things today. And lo and behold, you become healthier every day. And there is no finish line to health. You don't, you can stop taking your supplements and working out now. You're a 10 health. No. You got, those things got you to a 10, and to stay at 10, you need to continue to do those things.
That's right. Yeah.
Super, super interesting. So let's tell people the bad news, Cheryl.
The bad news is that reading one leadership book or attending one leadership seminar in your life is not going to make you a better leader.
Here I thought I went to this conference over the weekend and now I'm a leader.
Woo! No, Paul, it's not quick. It's not easy. It's going to take a little bit of time. And I think realizing though, that up front, sets you up for success, right?
Yeah.
Because you know that it's not like, well, my gosh, I've been studying leadership now for 3 days. I don't know why I'm not a great leader.
Right.
I don't know why I can't, why isn't everyone following me? Everybody should be following me. I'm a leader, right? But no, it's a process, and it does take time. And I like that whole idea of it's not it's not the microwave effect. It's
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. It's a crock pot.
Yeah. So yeah, I love that.
Good. It's a good image to have in your mind when you move forward with and to master this law. And what we're trying to do here for everybody is kind of grade yourself on each one of these laws that we're doing on a scale from 1 to 10. And then at the end of this whole thing, you're going to be like, okay, I got 10s in these, and I got some 8s and 9s in these, and I got some that are going to be super low. So you'll find out which ones you need to work on, because it's important to be great at all 21. But this is one that I think, Cheryl, honestly, I think a lot of people need to work on, because I think a lot of people become goal orientated. They want to do this or that, but their actions, the process is all over the place. They're not doing the things daily that are going to make them a better leader, or whatever your goal is in life.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it all starts with, I think it all starts with identity, right? It starts with, really saying, I am the type of person who is a great leader. It's just who I am. And I love the way we say that, Paul. It really, like, it speaks to me. I am whatever. I am this type of person. That's just who I am. And I love to say that, because I think it does something like in my brain, and I can't, of course, scientifically explain that, but it does something in my brain that makes me, oh, yes, I am. That is the type of person that I am, or who I am becoming. So I love that.
Yeah, we try to work identity into everything we do. It's really the overriding theme of Elevate, because I'm just the type of person who wants to get better every day. It's just who I am. So when you take that mile high view of life, that I want to get better every day, great things end up happening. Absolutely. So I know, Cheryl, people think that we were just born as good as we are. Like, oh, Cheryl and Paul, those two are just phenomenal, but they've always been phenomenal. Like, that hasn't always been the case.
I'm sure Paul was pretty good at Taco Bell back in the day.
Yeah. Let's just say if you were going to bet money on two people being successful, you would have not bet on Cheryl or myself at all. No. Like zero. Yeah.
But that's fantastic. Like, that's exciting to me. And it's exciting to share a little bit about that, because, it can, really, if it's your goal to become a great leader, you can definitely do that. And, and we're going to be talking about that over the next few weeks. So I love that. It's like there's a, it's a process, right? And there's a way to do that. So it's fun that we get to talk about that. And
and I love the way John talked about, he had this goal. I want to become a great leader. Like, he just got this message from God that this is what I'm going to do. And then he found someone to be his mentor. And then the mentor told him that he's got to spend an hour a day for 5 years on leadership, and you'll be an expert. And so he's like, ooh, 5 years. Like, I want to be an expert now. Like, I don't want to wait 5 years to become an expert. So but as he was going through the 5 years, he started realizing something super important. And this was life-changing for him. The question he should not be asking is, how long will this take? But instead asking, how far can I go? How good of a leader can I become? And when he started asking that different question, and there's not a whole lot of difference between the two questions, word-wise, but oh my gosh, they take you in two very different directions in life with two different mindsets. And, he's not just a 10 leader, but he was a 10 leader 20 years ago. He's continued to grow over the years. So he's just asking himself, how far can I really go?
I know. And I love that he says the longer he studies leadership, the more he realizes that he doesn't know that much, and he needs to, learn more. And I just love that.
You would think after all these years that, man, he knows everything about everything, but he says every day I learn something new about leadership.
Yep.
To this day. I mean, it's crazy, but so awesome.
Yeah. And I love this next part, Paul, goals versus process. So we all want to set goals. We're all, let's set goals, let's set goals, let's set goals. But the difference between the two, and Paul, I honestly know now that you need both of them, right? So
Sure.
goals give us a direction, and the process gives us the results. So, which is so interesting, because I think sometimes what I see is, well, in myself anyway, is let's just get in and do the process. Let's get into action, get into action. But if we don't have the goals already set and understand the results we want, like where we're going,
Yep.
then you can really spin your wheels a lot in the process, right? And
Yeah.
I think even more importantly than that is if you are trying to add value to other people's lives, if you're not clear on the results that you want, where you're going, and the process that you're using to get there, how are you going to be able to help them do the same thing? And that's always the problem that I ran into. So I love that now we have the results set and we know what they are. And I've asked a lot of people that, Paul, and a lot of people don't know the results that they want, right?
Nope.
And so how can you have a process if you're not sure of the result that you want? So that's super important to get those. And just the difference between them, amazing that you need both to be successful.
Yeah. And we're going to talk on our podcast next Tuesday about action. So I'm just going to shut up and let you do that podcast, because you are a woman of action. So our system is plan, do, review, and Cheryl's got the do part down like 1,000%. Okay.
Listen, it's going to be short. It's going to say action. Do it.
Let's go. Yeah.
Get into it.
Let's go.
Exactly. Well, Paul, tell us about this. I mean, you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier, and I loved how you were explaining the way that you get into this process.
Yeah, again, it's about asking good questions. And I think how far can I go is just now that's really my primary question, that I'm focusing on, and not that I'm not there yet, but that I want to finish this 5K or whatever it is with that finish line, but thinking of, wow, how far could I go? That is super exciting to my mind. And as you said, it's less stressful, because there's not so much stress on today to hit the finish line. Yeah.
And I love what you were telling me about, like, let's say if you want to be, because we work with a lot of people who want to get healthy and who aren't feeling good or whatever, but it's like changing the questions that you ask yourself, or even start asking yourself the question, well, gosh, during the day, well, what would a healthy person do? We all know what a healthy person would do. And I love that question, because as you ask yourself that, it kind of gives you a jolt, like, oh, well, if I have Oreos there and if I have a chicken salad there, what would a healthy person do? Yeah. And then if you want to become more healthy, you're going to do what the healthy person would do.
Right. That's the process. The goal is still there to become healthier. Yeah. But now you're once the goal is there, the result is there. Now you turn your attention onto the process. And by asking that question, what would a healthy person do? And if you ask that question all day long, every day, you're going to become a healthy person.
As long as you make the right decision.
Yeah. It is, so you get the choice between an elevator or take the stairs, take the stairs. Okay. That's what a healthy person would do. So you're right. Making that decision every moment on what a healthy person would do is absolutely the key.
Yeah. I love that, Paul. And I love that we were talking about that every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. Oh my gosh, that's like my favorite saying now.
Yeah, I mean, if you're reading these notes, like that is something you want to read a couple times, because it's deep, and you got to take a moment to think about that. But it's absolutely every single moment of your life we're doing something, and it's telling your subconscious mind, this is who I am. So you sit on the couch. Oh, this is who I am. I'm someone who sits on the couch at this time. I mean, whatever it is, whether it's working out, get up and work out every day, it's a vote for, I get up at 5 a.m. every day. So at the beginning, I didn't want to do that, or never thought I would ever do that. But since I do it every single day now, I'm casting votes every day. And then it just, my mind now says, oh, I'm just the type of person who gets up at 5 a.m. every day. Just who I am. And it's been amazing to see it myself, the transformation of that one thing. there's been a lot of other things too, but that one thing has been awesome.
Well, and it's great that you can see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that you can notice it and realize it. And just something small, you know, I mean, at the time, I'm sure it wasn't a small thing when you very first started it, but then just see that in yourself and know that that can help it happen in every area of your life. That's so exciting to me.
Yeah. I mean, just to be honest with you, there are times where I hate our relationship because you are the one that brought the 5 a.m. club to me. You are the one that brought the cold plunge to me, and numerous other difficult things that I do daily now that I think about you. I'm like, it's Cheryl. Cheryl did this to me. So no, it's been a blessing, absolutely. But yeah, you mean it's we do hard things.
Yeah, we do. And I love, Paul, too, that that this gives us something to focus on. For me, that is very, very important.
Oh, it's important for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if not, then you're going to focus on whatever your mind runs to, or whatever, you know, whatever I focused on yesterday or the day before is going to come back at that same time today. So to be able to focus on what's important, right? And it is on becoming, for me, a 10 leader, right? I'm like, yes, that's what I want to do. That's what I need to focus on. And I love that it's becoming that 10 leader just 1% every day.
Yeah. Becoming a better leader today than I was yesterday by 1%. And that is the process. And that's why we're encouraging on this podcast to think more about the process now. Again, you still got to have a goal, but think more about the process, because that's really what's going to get you there. And that's the whole concept of Elevate, you know, to getting 1% better every single day in these different areas. So, Shell, people are going to ask, well, following these laws every day is a process of becoming a better leader, but what are the actions I should take? What is the process of becoming a better leader? You know, so it's got to be some kind of daily actions. And as we mentioned with being healthy, the process is eating better, exercising, taking your supplements, drinking your water. All those things are part of the process. What is the process of becoming a better leader, and the things that we need to do daily to make that happen?
Yeah. So the very first one, which is near and dear to my heart now, is personal growth. Personal growth is important.
That's where it starts. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And it starts with that, because you can't give what you don't have. Right. And so you need to grow yourself enough so that you can give that away to other people.
Yeah. We also want to influence. We want to be out there, you know, influencing people to follow us. That's what we do. And it comes from practice. You're not going to be, you know, Cheryl and I weren't great at influencing back 25 years ago, but now we're fantastic at it. We can influence people to follow us. And we have no problem with that. So, but it develops daily, not in a day. So we didn't get to build up this influence overnight, but we practice it every day. And that's what got us to where we are. And it's also about navigating people. You know, Cheryl, I know you have an enormous team of people, and it's helping. They're unsure what to do. So they're looking to you to chart the course for them and give them those 1, 2, 3 steps to do today, and really helping them do that.
Yeah, I love that, Paul. And then there's and in doing that, we are adding value to people, right? We're adding value to people. We are connecting with people. We are there, you know, training and encouraging and there for them as they are on their journey to elevate.
And then developing our inner circle, you know, that's a key thing that we need to do every day. Every day I focus on, I got to make my inner circle, my inner 12 stronger, you know, or go find other people to be in my inner 12. And then the next one, Cheryl, is super interesting. It's being focused on create the big mo.
Well, right. But the thing about that is, Paul, is if you're not developing your inner circle, and if you don't have one, there is no way on earth that you can create momentum by yourself.
No.
You can't do it. It would be awesome, right? Because I guess, anyway, it just won't work. Right. Yep. And so in creating the inner circle, or developing your inner circle, I mean, let's be honest, that's the way Christianity started, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, that's
absolutely. And if you get that right, you're absolutely going to have the massive momentum. And then, Cheryl, last but not least, the 8th thing was setting good priorities. You know, this is just something I do every day, thinking of, okay, I got this to-do list, and John talks about this, a lot of priorities. where if there's 10 things to do today, 2 of them are super important. They're the big rocks. So we've got to make sure we do those 2 first, because they're going to give us 80% of our return for today.
Yeah, so important. And I think I think having the list of priorities and then making sure that you know what those 2 big ones are, because let me tell you, they're probably not the easiest.
Oh, they're the hardest 2 on the list. Yeah.
I know. So it's the ones we want to do last, right?
Yeah.
It's the picking up the phone. It's the whatever it is, but it's the ones we want to do last. And we just need to really make sure that we're doing those, the big rocks, we call them the big rocks, first.
Yeah.
2 most important priorities. Yeah.
So in closing, Cheryl, basically John became a better leader because he focused on becoming a better leader every single day. And I love when he goes to that speech, like people ask, well, what'd you do on your birthday? I read, I think, and I write. Well, what about Christmas? And he goes, I don't know what part of every day you're not getting here, so it is an everyday thing. It's an attitude of elevate, always looking to get things better. And the +1 for today, Cheryl, is obviously leaders develop daily, not in a day. That's the message we're getting across to people here. And again, that +1 is that 1%. Like, they say you learn something new every day. Let's be intentional about that. So the one thing we learned today is that leaders develop daily, not in a day. So Cheryl, elevate is a process. Go ahead.
Wait, I want to just say one thing, because I love when John talks about how, someone came up to him and said, oh, if I would have heard you 25 years ago, my whole life would be different. And I would be so much better. And John's like, no, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't have heard the same things that you're hearing today, because I am 1,000 times better today than I was 25 years ago. And that was so shocking to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Because I thought the same thing. Oh my gosh, if I would have learned this, forever ago and heard John years and years and years ago. But it's not that. It's that he's gotten better every single day. So what a blessing it is we have him now, right? I mean, this is just fantastic. All of these things that I'm learning, I'm loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the guy probably took it personally initially that, oh, you mean I couldn't have been a better leader? And John's like, no, it's on me. I wasn't that good 25 years ago. So you wouldn't have heard this message 25 years ago. It took 25 years for me to develop this message. So super, super powerful. So Cheryl, elevating, so we're encouraging you to elevate your process today by focusing on the things you can do.
Absolutely, Paul, so that we can all go from fine to fabulous.
Absolutely. Outstanding. All right. Thanks, Cheryl, so much. And we'll see you all next week for Leadership Law number 4. So we encourage you to get that book and, to read the chapter and be ready for next week's podcast. Till then,